Hello, welcome to this week's Book Bites video. My name is Kinsey Heisel, and I'm the Youth Services Librarian at the Boyle County Public Library. This week, I'll be sharing with you all some fantasy books that are similar to the Harry Potter series. So if you've read the Harry Potter books already, and you're looking for more fantasy books to read similar to that series, these books will be perfect. Or if maybe you don't want to read the Harry Potter books, but you're really curious about those similar topics and themes, or you're just looking for something to read first, then you can read all of these titles that I'll share in this week's video instead. They share similar themes such as magical schools, magical creatures, friendship, adventures, all of that and more. I can't wait to let you all know about them. Let's get started. The first book I'll be sharing with you all today is called The Jumbies by Tracey Baptiste. So this one is a bit of a spookier, darker fantasy. Our main character lives on an island that is a bit magical with her family, and she starts to notice that Jumbies, who she previously thought were just a made-up story to scare kids, they might be real and coming to her island. So she starts noticing some strange things going on. There's some darkness coming in, and she goes on an adventure to save her island and her family. So this has some similar themes of magic, especially dark magic that could be a little bit spookier. So it's a bit of a darker fantasy, but one that's really good that I definitely recommend. It's based on Haitian folklore, which is something you don't always see in books. So definitely check this one out if you like the Rick Riordan mythology books as well. And like always in every video, I'll give you some similar titles to go along with each book. So if you've already read this one but are looking for something else, or just looking for some more books to read that are similar, then you can check out these books. So the first one I'll recommend is Evangeline of the Bayou by Jan Eldredge, The Riverman by Aaron Starmer, and A Tale Dark and Grimm by Adam Gidwitz. So those are all some similar titles to check out if you want to read more like this one. Our next book is perfect if you love magical creatures, and that is the Unicorn Rescue Society series, and the first one being The Creature of the Pines, and this is by Adam Gidwitz. So this is a magical creature series, and I'll read you a little letter intro from one of our main characters that's on the back of the book here to give you a taste of how it is. I, Professor Maitofana, am the founder of a secret group of adventurers, the Unicorn Rescue Society. We keep the creatures of myth and legend safe, but our enemies are powerful and ruthless, and we are in desperate need of allies. Will you help us? Even if it means risking your very life, will you join the Unicorn Rescue Society? I hope so. The creatures need you. So that gives you a little bit of a taste of what this book is about. It does have some illustrations along the way of the creatures, which I always think is fun. So this is not a very long book, but a perfect book if you like magical creatures and animals. So if you want to check out this one, I highly recommend it. And some similar titles to this would be The Sasquatch Escape by Suzanne Selfors, Mighty Jack, which is a graphic novel by Ben Hatke, and Bad Magic by Pseudonymous Bosch. Our next book is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This book is actually a Newbery Award winner, so you know it's going to be a good one. That's one of the Youth Media Awards that the American Library Association awards every year. And this is a fantasy about a witch who lives in the woods, and each year the town leaves a baby thinking that that's what the witch wants, but really the witch doesn't know why the town is leaving her babies. So she takes the baby each year and takes it to the neighboring village and makes sure that it has a good home. Except one year, she accidentally feeds the baby moonlight instead of starlight, and that gives her more powers. So she takes the baby, who becomes our main character, to live with her in the woods with her other magical creatures that she keeps as pets. So it's a good fantasy story. You have some magical creatures, you have some adventure, you have kind of a chosen one plot line as well. And while it is a bit bigger of a book, it's really good and one I could not put down when I was reading it myself. So I definitely recommend this book. Other books to read if you like this one and are looking for something similar are City of Islands by Kaylee Wallace, The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson, and Willa of the Wood by Robert Beatty. Our next book is the School for Good and Evil series by Soman Chainani. Now this is actually the 6th book in the series because our first one was checked out, but we have all of the books in this series for you to read. And this, as you can probably tell from the name, is a book about magic schools. There's a school for good and a school for evil. And filled with fairy tale creatures, villains, and heroes for each one. Our 2 main characters actually get kidnapped and taken to these schools. One gets put in the school for good and one for evil, and they have to figure out why they are there, was there a mix-up, and then get through their school year, of course. So this is a great series. I definitely recommend it. They are a bit longer books, but well worth it. Some other books to check out that are a bit similar are Flunked by Jen Calonita, and that's another one that is magic schools and fairy tales. 13 Treasures by Michelle Harrison, and The Tragical Tale of Birdie Bloom by Temre Beltz. Our next book is Ice Wolves by Amie Kaufman, and this is again part of a trilogy. This is the Elementals trilogy. This combines magic schools with magical creatures and chosen one theme, so a lot of good fantasy tropes going on here. You have 2 siblings who are orphans, and one day at a choosing ceremony, they find out that one of them can turn into a dragon and one can turn into a wolf. They get taken by these clans to their respective schools, and they have to figure out why they ended up being different things, because in this world, the wolves and the dragons are enemies. But these 2 siblings aren't enemies, so they need to figure out the secret of their family and also unite all of the people in their kingdom. So this is a great book if you like elemental magic. It has some fire and ice, as you can probably tell from the cover, as well as magical creatures. Some other books to read if you're looking for something similar are the Unwanted series by Lisa McMahon, Ember and the Ice Dragons by Heather Falchette, and Changeling in the Oddmere series by William Ritter. Our next book is Voyage of the Frostheart by Jamie Littler. This is a fantasy adventure series with a misfit group of heroes who must go on an adventure together. And I'll read you the synopsis on the back because I think this is a particularly good one. Way out in the farthest, most frozen part of the world, destiny is calling on Ash. Ever since his parents disappeared in the snowy expanse beyond their town, Ash has known he doesn't belong among the Fira. He's, well, different. But when a hidden magic bursts out of him and changes his life forever, his quest for his parents becomes a lot more urgent. Enter the Frostheart, a snow-worthy sleigh captained by a peg-leg walrus and a ragtag crew of misfits. On board, he meets a spunky navigator who can talk his ear off as fast as she can plot a sleigh's course, daring explorers who aren't afraid of the monsters that lurk under the ice, and a mysterious traveler who holds the secrets to his powerful magic. Joining the Frostheart might be Ash's only chance to find his parents and find out who he truly is. So I don't know about you, but this gives me lots of good winter fantasy vibes. I love a good crew of misfits going on an adventure together, and I think that you'll really enjoy this book. Some other similar titles to read are The Polar Bear Explorers Club by Alex Bell, The Quest of the Cubs by Catherine Lasky, and Jinx by Sage Blackwood. And our last book I'll share with you today is The Adventures Guild, and this book is also in a series. This is by Jack Lorgan. And the last book I'll share with you all today is The Adventures Guild by Zach Lauren Clark and Nick Eliopoulos. This is also a series. In this fantasy world, our main characters live in one of the last cities that has not been taken over by monsters, and everyone joins a guild. So some of our main characters want to join the Merchants Guild or the Mage Guild, but they get put in the Adventurers Guild, which is the one that has to go off and do all of the risky adventures. They are not thrilled about it, but we'll see how they do in this book, in their fantasy world, and all of the scary monsters. So this book has some magical creatures, plenty of adventure, has good friends. The guilds function kind of like magical schools, so that's why I thought you all would like it. And it's just a really good fantasy adventure series that I hope you all will enjoy. Some similar titles to this one are Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins, Forest of Wonders by Linda Sue Park, and The Stonekeeper, which is the first in the Amulet series, which is a graphic novel series by Kazuo Kibushi. Those are all of the fantasy books that are Harry Potter read-alikes that I have to share with you all today. I hope that you heard some good new titles to check out, and as always, let me know what you think or come in the library and I'm happy to talk about more fantasy books with you. Feel free to email me using the email, which I'll link in the description below, if you have any genres or types of books or read-alikes that you want me to talk about in a future video. Later on this month, I'll definitely do some spooky titles as Halloween gets closer, but I'm happy to do whatever types of books you all are looking for to read next. Please let me know. I hope you enjoy these videos and these books, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!